Are Ivy League schools really worth the cost? For the class year of 2024 to 2025, the Princeton annual tuition is $83,000. Whereas at Stanford, for the year of 2023 to 2024, the annual tuition is roughly around $65,000. So is the cost of tuition worth it at these schools? Let me tell you something. There's a huge misconception when it comes to the cost of tuition at Ivy Leagues or Stanford or top 10 schools. One of the biggest misconceptions I get is that these schools are too expensive, so it's not worth it to attend. And that is a huge misconception because let me tell you this, the endowments at these schools are massive, okay? They're definitely in the billions of dollars. And so they're well funded by the government, by donations, by wealthy alumni, and that means that you do not have to pay the full tuition at these schools, which is a huge misconception that I always hear. For Stanford, let's say, if your parental income is less than $150,000 a year, in other words, if your parents make less than $150,000 a year, you get a full ride to Stanford. In other words, you pay zero. It's free to attend. For Princeton, if your parents make less than $100,000 a year, you also get a full ride, completely free. And so depending on your parents' income, you could extrapolate based on that. If they make like, let's say $200,000 or $300,000 a year, you will still get some degree of financial aid, whether in terms of loans or grants. I personally paid $12,000 a year to attend Princeton. Now, obviously, this was way back then in 2008, 2009, but I still paid significantly less than other students. So don't worry about the cost of attendance because these schools are extremely well funded. Princeton has the largest endowment of any institution per student. Harvard has the largest absolute endowment, well into the billions, and these schools are extremely well funded. In other words, they've got plenty of money to subsidize your education. Of course, the most difficult part is getting in. And that's why these schools are so selective, because if they admit you, it's highly likely that they will fund a large part of your education. So don't worry about the cost. Instead, worry about how you're going to study hard, to pursue your extracurricular activities, to maximize your odds of getting in. And that's why so many students, they want to get into these schools because of the education, the networking opportunities, the campus environment, the research opportunities, the career opportunities that you'll get from attending a prestigious school. The cost is actually should be the least of your worries. And if your parents are really wealthy, yes, that means you may not get a full ride, but you probably don't need that full ride anyway. And if your parents are not wealthy and if you come from a low income background, well, you're looking at a full ride tuition. All expenses paid for to attend one of the world-class institutions in the world. In addition to this, there is something called QuestBridge, which is a scholarship program that you could apply for. So if you're a low-income student, definitely take a look at QuestBridge. It's highly likely you'll get a full ride there as well if you get into QuestBridge. If you like what we talked about today, give us a like and a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We'll be sharing more tips and advice on the college admissions process.